Marshall players Hazanni, Mr. Cayetanno.
How you get my name wrong?
Well, he came in on Tuesday with a round 1 loss. And then one undefeated, and then shout out to Mr. Casey Hutchinson over here when we special summon prank and tell him to fossil down on the field.
I definitely did not stop the cap. I came in round 1 loss and then proceeded to bully everybody that I played against. I only lost game 1 twice and then backdoor 2-0'd. Let me see. My first matchup was against. I don't even know. This happened on Tuesday. The most memorable one was against Invoked Eldritch. I told him we could split. He said, no, I want to play it out. So I'm like, okay. Whatever happens, happens. And, he didn't like the end result. Played Casey. He was playing some foolishness. He got beat. That was probably the closest game I played all day. I played against DDDs. That was a crisp 2-0.
Shout out to John.
Shout out to Joe.
We trying to be, friendly over here.
We being semi-friendly. But it is what it is. But yeah, let's get into it.
All right. So, if you guys haven't figured it out, this is Mr. Vic Merch protege right here, and Vic Merch is on a hiatus. You don't know when the Cuban will be back, but you just know that his protege is holding down the reins. And what did we see? Wait, that's Overraptor. All right, yeah, you can figure it was Dino.
So, obviously, I don't know if I've made it known, but I've been getting kind of bored with dinos. But it's a very good meta contender. 1, because it has a lot of good combo potential. 2, it can play through a lot of things. And 3, it can break boards very easily. That's always been consistent with dinos. And a lot of decks prefer to go first, so I'm going to play something that can go first or second and keep you from making a board and then just clean you up. 2 of my games, I literally just made access code conductor and killed them. Especially against the Lyralist Tri-Brigade deck. Very fragile. Very, very fragile. So let's get into it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hear you saying come all free.
Don't make that publicly known. Don't say that. Don't post that. Right. Anyways, triple Ovi, it's the bread and butter of the deck. If this gets hit, honestly, at this point in the game, it doesn't hurt too much. We still have triple Fossil Dig, we still have other extenders. Speaking of which, Scrap Raptor, we never should have gotten this card. A level 4 tuner, that is a dino that blows up other baby. We never should have gotten this. This lets me do so much ignorant things. I can normal summon this with Lost World and immediately full combo. That's stupid.
Black person and ignorant in the same card.
Yes. We got the 1 Misk and the double Archosaur. I feel like 2 is enough. 3 is cloggy. I know there's arguments that if it's at 3, you should play it at 3, with the whole ratio argument. But there are certain cards you just don't want to always see, especially when it's so accessible. This special summons it for free, gets your engine online. This can be searched off Fossil Dig, and if you open Baby, you're good to go. Ovi searches it. When you pop with Scrap Raptor, you can special summon it. There's just so many ways to get it out. I even messed around with 1-for-1 for a little while. It was niche. It's a one-of, so wasn't really worthwhile. Got the 1 Petite, triple Baby. I was messing around with the ratios of this as well. At one point, I was running 2 Petite just because of the extra popping power if I needed it. But I was starting to realize that if the game was going on that long, I was in a losing position anyways, so there wasn't really any point in trying to mitigate a losing game, Sometimes it's better to just scoop it up and go to the next. The 1-of Giant Rex. A lot of people sleep on this card. When you banish it, it comes back once per turn. This is great for an extender, when I'm ending my combos. Banish it, make it rank 4, Dweller, Dolka, Lagia, or use it as synchro material to make Borreload Savage. So it's really good. The 1 Pank, this is a goated card. I would say let us get it back at 3, but And also foreign, because of my boy Roots. He kind of got me on that foreign train.
Oh, snap.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I forgot about that, by the way.
The 1-of Overtext. I decided to put this back in because I realized the meta's shifting to where a lot of spells and traps are being used. There's still a lot of monster effects, but my end board is more than capable of dealing with it. Imperm is at 3 in almost every deck. Droplets is a thing as well. Talents is a thing. So with my board being the way that it is, I can answer almost every spell. It's just, there are certain things that sometimes having an overtext instead of a conductor really is more beneficial. Also, if I open conductor in my hand, summoning this off pill is just extra advantage.
And how often did you make pranker tops or overtext? Because when you do double evolution pill, how many times your opponent would expect UCT?
There were a lot of times my opponent expected UCT, and then I dropped this, and it completely threw their plan off. Because not every time I need to book their board. It really depends. Like if I'm going first and establishing my board, usually I'll go with this as a safe play, and then clean up next turn because I'll have an access to OV or UCT either way. Pank, I alternated between the two. Like if I was going into an established board, I'd double Evo pill into a Pank. If I was making my board, I'd double Evo pill into this. I wasn't dropping conductor too often unless I knew what my opponent was game. So game 2 and 3 is usually when I dropped UCT, once I was comfortable with knowing what was being played. And of course the 2 UCT. Dragoons is still a card. This just hard outfit. Exactly. There was a time where I was playing this at 3, but it got really bricky, so we dropped it back to 2. This is the one of Tuner, Tenyi Adahara. This helps me make Nat Beast, which turns off spells, so... Exactly. Literally, I made Nat Beast and passed. Man's scooped. So I was like, alright, bet. He couldn't draw anything, and then I just kept going after that. The one Scrap Chimera, you hate to see it in your hand. If it's in deck, great. You pop the Scrap Raptor, you search this, you get your second normal summon, you go off from there. I was running Scrap Golem, but I kept hating seeing it in my hand. At least with Scrap Raptor, it's a starter. That's not a dead card. With Scrap Golem, it's a dead card unless it's in your deck. And me and Victor actually went back and forth on this for a little while and would mess around with it. Initially, I was keeping Golem in while he was starting with Raptor, but then I started seeing his point, started testing it out for myself. Golem isn't necessary unless I play my extra deck a certain way, and that was only to counter certain niche matchups, which once I put Overtext back in, dealt with that problem as a whole. So it let me free up some slots. The triple Fossil Dig, they're in Ultra. I like them in Ultra. I have my Super still, but, want a max rarity. Lost World is such a god card. This shuts down Lightning Storm, this shuts down Imperm, this shuts down Gamma, this shuts down Evenly, this shuts down, to a certain extent it prevents droplets from going off completely unhinged because they can't send the token, so like they're forced to kill their hand in order to deal with my board, and most of the time, their starting hand is 6 or maybe even less if they try to hand trap me and I still comboed. They have to pitch at least 3 to 4 cards, and droplets being one of them. So you're playing with 1 to 2 cards max, trying to break my board. Good luck. Not only that, you protect the baby in so many combo scenarios. You normal summon a baby, you attack it, you blow up a baby in deck, you special summon Archosaur, you go ignorant. It's all in damage steps, so they can't respond unless they have negate activation. Lost World is so slept on. The 2 double Evo pills. Messed around with trying it at 3, did not like it. If you draw it, you draw it. If you draw both, you cry, and then you win later. It is what it is. Shout out to my boy Roots. I got the 3 pots off of him. In, what is it, German? Italian? Something.
It's Italian.
Italian, you feel me? This is a good starter card. This is a good end card. This is a good bait card. Whenever you activate this, your opponent is inclined to deal with it because Dinos really is that deck that just needs 2 cards to really rip you a new one, and this gets you there almost every single time. And now that I have it at 3, it just does greatness. The one Called by the Grave always. I was playing Talents. Too situational. Called by is fine. Double Ash. What can I say? It's Ash. Double Droll. Almost every deck in the meta searches, so I'm probably going to bump it up to 3 as a meta call. Every time I drew it, I just ended turns. Double Imperm. Like I said, it's a good card. It's a god card. If I wasn't playing this piece of garbage here, I'd be bumping every other hand trap up to 3, but Dinos needs protection. Lancia kills our turn 1. Droll kills our turn 1. Ash on Miss kills our turn 1. So you prevent that with Gamma. I drew this way too often, but I still managed to get it off. So it was a toss-up.
Let's see the sideboard first.
The sideboard first, Triple Lancia. Honestly, I might switch that up because I'm not seeing as many decks banish. The Bird Up what's it called? The Tri-Brigade Lyralist deck does. They do. Yeah, Bird Flu.
Oh.
So I might keep it at 2, not cut Lancia completely, but I don't know if I'm going to run it at 3. The double Cosmic to deal with back row decks and Harpy's Feather Duster. This helps me clear back row. Triple Dark Ruler. I don't have droplets anymore, so we're back on the simple stuff, like budget. I said. Exactly. Budget for now. Red Reboot because, again, back row decks are Dino's worst enemy. So I just turn off their entire turn, kill them. I made a last-minute decision to put D-Barrier in because Drytron, you activate this, they pretty much pass. Against Sword Soul, you activate this, they pass. This helps end certain turns. It keeps Shaddoll's in check to a certain extent. And then Triple Evenly, this helps break boards or back row, either or. Like I said, Dark Ruler plus this equals you're broken. I did do this to somebody once, and they weren't too happy with it, but I didn't care.
Sounds traumatic.
Oh well, get good, draw better. My 3 tokens, love to see them. Link Karibo, fodder for any level 1 that I have. I took out Secure Gardener, which I'm kind of regretting, but most of the time I didn't need it. Needle Fiber or Halki Fibrax, whatever, that's how I summon out the level 1 Adahara, make Nat Beast, use this, and this to go into Appaloosa, which we'll see later on. Scrap Dragon or Wyvern is a really good card. A lot of people never stop it because nobody really knows where to stop dinos anymore because I just keep going. And I can put out a Dolka before I even go there. Pentastag to help me kill, whatever is linked. Does piercing, conductor plus piercing equals game. Unicorn to help me bounce away certain things and then go into Axis Code. Axis Code, I usually make this going second or in game 2. Appaloosa is always my, turn 1 thing. Logia, you gotta respect the ulti. Logia is pretty much just walking Solemn Judgment. Love it. Shut up. Dolka. People seem to forget that this is not once per chain, so you really catch people lacking with it. Dolka's beautiful. Tornado Dragon, utility. Some people are still rocking the Wind Barrier. This helps out it. If I need to swing big. Plus backer removal. Dweller. This plus Nat Beast plus the rest of my board, I'm more than likely turning your turn off by denying you grave access and spells. A lot of decks revolve around those now. Dugaris helps me push Conductor to 7k. I was disrespectful one time, made Axis Cone 10k. It was funny.
He's styling for points at that point.
And the 3 Synchros. Omega because of Gamma. I can either turn it into Needle Fiber or turn it into this. Return my Misk and rip a card out of your deck. Savage because it's an Omni Negate. Nat Beast because I turn off your spells.
It seemed like to me you were very intricate in all the choices that you made and were very thorough with the deck building.
I had to be because I was testing a lot online, and I kept noticing certain flaws in my deck. The most important thing was getting hand trapped whenever I was trying to get Faucet going. Droll, like I said, really hurts the deck. Not a lot of decks can function with Gamma and not consider it a brick. So I tried to mitigate as many weaknesses as I could while also maximizing on my potency. So that's what led me here. There's a few side deck options I'm probably gonna change just to make it a little more versatile. As for the extra deck, there isn't a whole lot that I would change. I like it the way it is. And the main deck, I'm playing 42, also a Victor staple. That man's influence is too much. But yeah, for the most part, the only thing I would change would maybe be the hand trap ratios. But outside of that, I love the deck the way that it is.
Alright then guys, you heard it first. The Prodigy and future White Star champion, ladies and gentlemen.
Speak it into existence.
Till next time, guys. Signing off.
Peace.